I have a second part of the talk to just tell you my personal journey of playing with Qiskit. So let me load the slide. Okay, give me a minute. Okay, can you see the slide?
Yep, that's good.
Yep, okay. I also send the links of this slide, the live slide for this talk also on the Slack channel. So this is my personal journey with Qiskit, and I have a subtitle from QPong to LHC, Large Hadron Collider, and beyond. For those of you that are familiar with physics, you know what is LHC, and I'm going to explain to you what that means. So my journey with Qiskit started with Qiskit Camp 2019, which is about almost 11 months ago. So that was in US. It's the first Qiskit Hackathon actually, but it's the international one. So students from different places, they all gather together in Vermont, in the northeastern state of US, and we spend 2 days to hack some projects together. And it's there that with my teammates here, Jared and Anastasia, you see we are holding some gamepad. So three of us make a coupon with our mentor. So that's the start of my journey with Qiskit. Before that, I never do any quantum computing coding or any coding. And then after that, just about 1 month after that, my mentor, Java app expert, actually real name is James Weaver. So he contacted me after the Qiskit Hackathon and told me that he has a plan to show the coupon in a Museum of Science in Boston in NanoDays with Quantum Leap event. So in 1 week, I was just cleaning up all the code in coupon because it was made in 24 hours. So the code was crap and there was a lot of bugs. It was actually very cranky. You see the screen blinking. So in 1 week, I cleaned up the code and polished it and added the screen of the place. You see the title screen and the end screen, the congratulation of getting the quantum computer and all these things. So the reason I want to tell you this story is that if you stick to Qiskit and you try to develop or learn more about it, they are not just going to teach you about quantum computing. Here, I'm going to show you other things that if you are passionate about Qiskit, you will learn a lot of other skills that can be transferable, even if you don't want to do anything about quantum computing in the future. So in just this 1 week after the hackathon, because of intense coding, I learned a lot more about Python and how GitHub works. And soon after that, I was contacted by IBM engineer called Gregory Boland because I make the coupon and they have a project to make an actual arcade. They can play some quantum games. So in there's a very famous quantum game made by IBM called Hello Quantum. You can also play it on your phone. But Coupon was the second game in this machine, and I was really honored. But because the Pi game is really bad game engine, so I have to remake the Coupon in Unity, which is much more robust and much more function. And it took us 3 months of time to develop this game with Gregory and Ivan. And there was a really great learning skill because, as I told you before Qiskit Camp, I've never done any coding. So it was, I learned a lot of things. I learned how to use the Unity game engine. I learned how to develop a game, how to design a game. If you see this game, you see that in the original Coupon, the quantum circuit is really big, and that's not necessary. And here we simplify the qubits to only 1 gate each and only 3 times 1 step. So it's easier for beginners to play. And also I learned C# because Unity games are written in C#. And the most important, I would say, is I learned how to work with people in an open source collaboration because I work with Gregory Poland and Ivan Duran in Spain. And all three of us are in different time zones. And we wrote on a GitHub repository, and I learned how to do the Git stuff, different branching, and how to work together and pull requests and everything like that. So I think that is also a very useful skill if you want to be a software developer. And in August, I was also very honored that Qbong was featured in the first episode of Coding with Qiskit in the official Qiskit channel. So here I can play with you, but actually you cannot hear the sound, right? I think, but you can see it's a battle. Or you can click the YouTube on your phone in the live slide. Basically, it was featured in this episode. If you haven't watched it, I recommend you to watch it. Okay. Okay, so that was a big thing. I think after that, a lot of people get to know me, and they always call me the Qbong guy. Okay, next slide. And in October, because I enjoyed so much about the experience of Qiskit Camp, which was a hackathon, so I contacted organizers of Qiskit from May, and with a few people in the Center for Quantum Technology at my university. We came together and worked with some people like Yuri, Kobayashi, and Brian together. We put up this Qiskit Hackathon in Singapore, and it was the first university organized Qiskit Hackathon in the world. And I'm very happy that India is going to have a similar hackathon in end of March. So I'm showing you here again, there's some learning points that I learned from this journey. That by organizing this hackathon, I learned a lot about event organization. And also I did my first public talk. And by the way, this is my second public talk only. And it's very cool this time that it's synchronized in 2 different locations in India. And I also learned how to do the quotients. Sorry. Can you see the slide again? There was some error.
It's working fine here.
Can you see the slide?
You can see the slides.
Yes, the Qiskit Hackathon one. That's the one we're seeing now.
Okay, yeah. There was some error in the Zoom. Okay. And in this hackathon, I was also a coach to coach a few different teams to make quantum games. So that was really fun because in other hackathon that I joined, I was a participant. So that was also a very good learning point. And here is the slide that I promised you about the Large Hadron Collider. So because of the YouTube coverage of the Qbong, and I also was quite active on Twitter. So someone from CERN, they also wanted to organize a similar hackathon. So he invited me to go to CERN to join this hackathon. And I was also invited to visit this CMS detector where the Higgs boson was discovered. So that was really a dream come true for a physics student like me. And here, this guy is a very famous person for quantum games. It's called James Wooten. I'm also going to talk more about him later. So he's a pioneer of quantum game. He made many games. If you go to my quantum games repository, you see he made like dozens of games based on Qiskit. And now he's a IBM researcher. And he's frequently covered by press about quantum games. So you should definitely check him out. And here I'm not showing any learning point, but because I joined the Qiskit camp and I keep making some games, I got invited to the hackathon, and I also have this amazing opportunity to visit the CERN and see the detector. Also, because James Wooten was in IBM Research Zurich, he also invited me to visit. And I also visited Google Zurich, and these 2 were famous universities in Switzerland, ETH Zurich and EPFL. And this is a very popular program, Qiskit Advocate. By the way, Sam and other people and Lara, he's also a Qiskit Advocate. So this is a program for people that are very passionate about Qiskit. There's a dozen or 50, maybe about 50 of them, and they are around the world in different places. And because I make the games, I got selected to be one of the advocates. And it's really fun because you get to meet all these fantastic people and you get to make friends with them, like Sam or Vicente, which is here. He's in Spain, and I went to Spain for Christmas. And just because we are both Qiskit Advocate, and I asked him out, and we went out. And you can see here we are all pointing at the sock because he has the Qiskit logo. This is a Qiskit socks I got from Qiskit Camp.
Those are really cool.
So here I want to show you and the proof that I've never done any coding before Qiskit Camp. So you can see, if you're familiar with GitHub, you see that your commit and pull request is recorded as a contribution on GitHub. You see that these two densely green dots showing that it was very intense hacking in Qiskit Camp. Before that, empty. After that, it's all so green. And I make like 1,000 contributions. Of course, most of them are my personal repositories, but just give you an idea that before Qiskit Camp, I didn't have much coding experiences. Of course, I knew Python, or I learned some C programming before in colleges, like most of you, but I never really make anything real, that like a game or software that people use and enjoy. So that was a very motivating experience. And I'm going to end the talk with this quote from Jay Wooten, which I mentioned, who is a pioneer of quantum games. So he wrote this sentence in one of his Medium articles. That was, I think, in 2018. So he said that at the beginning of this one, he started got a job on IBM research. And one of his teammates in the hackathon also got a job in a quantum computing company. We get it. So he's put a sentence: quantum game design seems to have a better career than a normal game design, because normal game designer, you are very hard to find a job, and usually you don't get a very high salary. And now I'm very happy to announce to you that I can confirm and add a third data point, because of all this journey and making all these quantum games, I'm going to join Qiskit in March. So if you want to get into quantum computing, maybe quantum game design and developer is a good route to get into it. So the last, I'm going to thank a few people that has been so important in the Qiskit journey. First is my mentor for the hackathon, and later on for the polishing the coupon, James Weaver, and Gregory Boland, who I work with for the arcade version of the coupon, which I learned so much about open source collaboration. And Jay Wooten, thanks him for being the idol, and always trying to become a second James Wooten to make quantum games. And Han, last but not least, I want to thank Han Hippak, who invited me to Qiskit Camp for the first. Without her invitation, I will never get into this Qiskit and never know what is quantum computing. So that's all for my talk. For the second part. So I think now we can do the question, right? Any questions?
Thank you so much.
Anyone? Any questions?
How
about Hyderabad? I haven't get any.
Yeah, we have a question here from Hyderabad, which is if you're working for IBM yet. Or was that correct? Yeah.
In March. Yeah, I'm going to join in March.
Yeah, so you're joining in March, and right now you're doing a PhD in quantum physics, or?
Not really, even though my profile picture makes me look like I'm doing quantum computing, but I use dilation refrigerators, so that makes me look like a quantum computing researcher. So what I study is superconductivity. That's why I need a dilation refrigerator which cools the temperature to 40 millikelvin. And I study in 2D materials, 2D superconductivity. So what is 2D material? Maybe most of you heard of graphene. So it's like a very extremely thin layer materials. The material I study is similar to graphene, but it's a different composition on our IBM test center. So I study the superconductivity and actually remotely related to quantum computing. I was initially trying to explore the topological quantum computation in 2D materials. Maybe some of you heard about Microsoft. They are trying to use this approach to make a much more stable qubits out of topological superconductivity. So that is my PhD. But because actually you can see that I am an experimentalist, but because of this Qiskit journey, I'm going to become a software developer. I will become a quantum developer advocate. So I will make maybe more games or give more talks to spread the fun of playing with Qiskit.
Okay.
Any more questions? Anyone from Delhi? Anything else that you'd like to ask? More questions from here? Okay, we seem to have no questions from here.
Good.
Yeah. Anything from Hyderabad?
You can ask me about the game also. If still, yeah, anyone wants to understand.
Great work.
What?
It's a great work.
Thank you.
All right, so should we end the talk?
Let's see. Maybe there are one.
Yeah, I think we have a question about the Qiskit Advocates program. About like what is that all about, and how much you need to know, the application process, and so on.
Good. Are you a Qiskit advocate?
I mean, I am, but the question is not from me. So.
Yeah, I understand. So at least I can point them to you or let me show you the link. I can show you something. Can you guys still see the browser?
Yep, sure. It's working fine.
Okay. So Qiskit Advocate is, if you go to qiskit.org Advocate, you see the explanation of what it does. So it'll be a small group of people that are very passionate about Qiskit. And right now we have a lot of people, but not all of them are shown in this website. Actually, we have many more than this. They have to update their website. Most of them, us, are students. And we play with Qiskit, and I think maybe they will have more rounds of these selections. So what we did in October was that they sent questions, Jupyter Notebook, testing your basic knowledge of Qiskit, just to make sure that you know some of it. And also you have to share that what kind of contribution you have made for Qiskit. It can be like giving a talk about Qiskit or organizing events about Qiskit, like all of the organizers in these two events. But it can also be as simple as you change the documentation of Qiskit. Maybe you find a typo, or you translate the Qiskit documentation to different languages. If you don't know coding, that's what you can do. Or if you are very good in coding, you can try to change some code of Qiskit. You can go to Qiskit GitHub and make some contribution. So there's many other ways. For me, it was I make a few games. I also organized a hackathon, so I got selected. So, yeah, I think if you want to have more questions about this program, you can ask the organizer of the meetup. They are all Qiskit advocates.
Add quickly that we also had another round of Qiskit Advocates program, but that was, I believe, an internal process. And I think they will be announcing the public program very soon. Although there's no confirmed date, but expected to be.
Yeah, okay. I haven't explained about what's the benefit of being a Qiskit advocate. I will only explain how you get selected. If you get to this, first is what I explained, that you get to know all the other fantastic people that are also advocates. And you also can have better access to the core developers of Qiskit. If you're very keen on learning how to do coding and quantum computing, you can easily ask them and can work with them. If they have some projects, you can collaborate with them. And actually, you can also get invitation to events. For example, I'm going to the Indian Hackathon later in March. We're still planning that, so I'll get invited for that. And also Qiskit advocates are invited for the Qiskit camps that is organized throughout the year. So in March is the biggest Qiskit camp. It is the same one that I went last year. And all the organizers in these meetups are going, I think. And there's also regional Qiskit camps. We have one in Asia, one in Europe, one in Africa. So this year is the Qiskit camp Asia is going to be in Singapore, and I will be the organizer, but it's still early to announce the details. It's probably in May, but we are not sure yet. So if you join this program, you have a much higher chances of getting invited to this event. Yeah. Any more questions?
Anything else? Nothing here.
Good?
Yeah, all good.
I think Hyderabad is fine.
Yeah.
Good? Okay. Thank you very much. It's really amazing to give a talk in 2 different locations. I think I'm going to say that it's like superposition. Like this is only possible with Zoom technology.
We are actually cloning you.
Okay. Hope you guys enjoyed today's event. And you should, if you are interested, you should all just bug us in Slack and ask any questions you want to ask. Anything from basics, or you want to have some idea of some projects you want to do, or you want to make quantum games, you can always talk to me. If you don't know how to make it, or if you are a classical game developer and want to know how to make it work with Qiskit, you can also ask me. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.